I'm here with Coach Dan Perez of the La Villa Cardinals. Coach, last year ended off the season with a 4-7 record. This year, a whole lot better. Tell us what the difference was between last year to this year.
Well, last year we only had 4 seniors. Most of the kids came back this year, so most of the kids that we had this year, they already had an idea on what we were going to do. So they came out, they worked out, they got themselves ready, so they kind of knew what to do already.
Now this year, looks like you had a 4-1 in district, which led you into the first round of the playoffs. Going into that first round, what was the atmosphere like here at the school? What was it around the town?
I tell you what, everybody was excited. The community was excited. The kids wanted to play. They wanted to win. So everybody was out here practicing, ready to go. So they just wanted to win so bad.
Yeah. Now last year you did make it to the playoffs into the first round. Lost the first round. This year you got that first round win. What was it? What was the feeling like right after the buzzer sounded?
Great feeling that we won a playoff. They hadn't done it in a while. I know last year we got overpowered, and this year we were ready for it. So the kids played really well. The game was tight till the end. I think we tired them out, and we won it at the end, and just everybody was excited about it.
Yeah. Now you went into round 2. It's been a while since La Villa's been into the second round of the playoffs. But with going into that second round, it was a really, really close game. Tell me a little bit about the game itself and how it came down to the wire.
We started off kind of slow, made some mistakes. We stopped them there in first, second, and third down. They fumbled the ball. We came up. Everybody came up. They left the receiver wide open. They scored right away. So they went up on us right away. But we settled down, and the kids started playing. I know they wanted to win really bad. And the game went all the way to the wire, to the last play, and it was a well-fought game, both teams, but we were short 4 points. So, but it was an exciting game. The kids just played really hard, and somebody's got to win.
Now, the other thing I noticed about this year, there's more players out in the field this year. Did that have? How do you see that going forward? Are there more people already planning to come? More kids planning to come back for the season next year? Now that they see, they see the players going out there and they're getting the recognition that La Villa's had before in the past, and now they're getting back. Is the success of the program so quickly changing the number of kids coming out to play as well?
We have a lot of kids coming out. We have a lot of young kids. I know that's one of the reasons. Probably another one is the field. We're getting turf, and there's a lot of remodeling, and that's good for the kids. The winning, it's coming back, and I tell you what, the winning is coming back because these kids are working hard, and that's what they do. You work hard, good things will happen. That's what I tell them all the time. And even the young kids, they come out here, they see the improvement. I see them here every day, and I tell you what, they really want to win, and that's what it takes, being here every day.
Now, talking about being here every day, you've got a couple of players on the team that have been here since their freshman year. Biggest name that comes to mind when it comes to La Villa football is Rey Felix. I know I saw him play when he was a sophomore, and he played like a senior back then. Now, tell me a little bit about him going forward. As from what you've seen, I know you saw him last year, coached him last year, and now you had him as quarterback this year. Tell me a little bit about this kid's result.
I'll tell you what, Ray is one of those special kids. I know last year he started off at quarterback, and then we moved him to running back, and he did amazing there. I mean, it doesn't matter where you put that kid. He played quarterback, he played running back. He was also our starting safety, strong safety. This year he did the same thing. He played quarterback all year. He played strong safety the whole year. I know these games, he didn't even come out of the ball game, so he wanted him in there. But he just made some plays for us, and you watch that game, it was him, getting away from those guys and avoiding the sack and throwing downfield. and running for the first down also. So that kid is just an amazing kid. He don't say much. He just goes out there and works and gets the job done, and that's what we're looking for. Kids that lead by example, not too much talking, but they go out there and they want you to see him perform, and that's what Rey does, day in and day out.
Now, this never would have happened without the defense. Looking at the scores over the past year, a lot of those games were low-scoring games as far as points allowed. How impactful was the defense this year? And give me a couple of stats. Give me a couple of names that were outstanding for the year.
Well, we have our middle linebacker, Brian Hinojosa, first team All-State. He came back. He's a senior this year. I think he had 198 tackles this year, 12 games. He's that leader. He comes out there and he hits you pretty hard. I think that quarterback from Granger was out when he gave him that hit. But he just he's exciting. He has a nose for the ball. He gets things done, and everybody else just goes along with him. And he brings that toughness to Cardinal defense. And I tell you what, that defense, when we run a reading defense, we don't blitz that much, and the kids just read off the blocks. And if you know a little bit about football, however the offensive line blocks, they'll take you to the ball, and that's what these guys have done this past 2 years. They've learned how to read the blocks and get to the ball quick, and we did it there towards the end.
All right, I'm here with Coach Garcia. Talk a little bit about the offense for this year. We all know Rey Felix, what he can do, what he's done. Talk to me about your running back, Ortiz, number 27.
Well, Ortiz was somebody that we have been looking at since last year when he was in 8th grade. Of course, he's a freshman this year. He's a small person, but packs a powerful punch. And once you start seeing him in a couple of practices, a couple of scrimmages, we were like, this guy can help us out in the varsity level at any position that we put him at. I know we put him at slot receiver before. We put him at outside receiver. I know we used him on defense as well as a linebacker and as a corner or safety. So we just knew that he was a versatile player that we could use on both sides of the ball. And he was one of those rare kids that we could say that he'll be able to help us out as a freshman on the varsity team.
You also had a pretty big time receiver here. You've got Vallejo, and had 539 yards, average 16.84 yards per catch. Tell me a little bit about him.
Well, Orlando, he's our senior receiver. He was an outside receiver. We call him our Z receiver. He did a transition from our slot receiver, inside receiver to outside receiver this year. That way we could make room for two other receivers to be slots and another guy outside. He was a real productive receiver last year at slot receiver. And what I was trying to do this year, myself and Coach Science, which is the receivers coach and all that, trying to put the best 4 receivers that we have out on the field and put them in positions to where they're going to help us out, spread out the talent on the field at the receiver position. And he did a great job for us at of course receiving and also blocking, which is one reason why we moved him outside we moved from inside to outside receiver to help us block on the outside of the edge. And then towards the end of the year, we started using him as a tight end also in a tight end set. Actually, it was just in the last game we put him in a tight end set, and he would help us out there a lot.
All right, now, we know you saw, going by the scores, throughout the year, you had a lot of success on the offensive side of the ball. And none of that is actually possible without your offensive line. So tell me what they did to come together as an offensive line, how they wanted to protect their quarterback and open up the place for the running backs and the receivers.
At the beginning of the year, we were still trying to piece together what offensive line we were going to have with us working out for the rest of the year. I mean, of course, in the scrimmages in the first few games that we had, we stuck with maybe about 6 linemen that we had to work both sides of the team on offense and defense. And it took its toll on us. It took its toll on us where on some of the games where we're in there in the first quarter, second quarter, and then towards the third, fourth quarter, we kind of dwindled down because we got kind of tired on both sides of the ball. But once we were able to get those 5 set on offense, I mean, they did a tremendous job. And the seniors, such as they're all seniors, the ones that we had. But the seniors that really stood out were Joey Ramirez and Jose Hernandez. That really helped us out a lot. Joey, of course, we could put him at any position on the line. I know we had him at one point at left tackle. He's at right tackle, guard. He did a great job. And then, of course, Jose Hernandez, he was one of our strongest guys. We had him at the particular blind side. He did a great job. Finally, we ended up getting Donald Grant to come in. He was our senior right guard. He brings a punch to the line also. One of our more powerful guys that we had, and I know when we pull him and John Contreras out, on buck sweeps and all that. I mean, they were able to get up there real quick and make some pass for our running backs. And for Rey, they gave enough time for Rey to do his completions, what he needed to do as passing the ball and hitting his targets that he needed to hit.
All right, sitting here with Brian Hinojosa. Brian, this past season was a tremendous season for you. Almost 200 tackles for the year combined. Give me a little insight into what your process was to be so successful on that side of the ball.
Well, I put in the work every day. Me and my coach, DP, just hours and hours of practicing, going over the routine, drills and all that. And that really helps in the off-season también. I work out, put in the weights, even in the season, after practice, put in the weights, put in the time and work. And all that hard work paid off, so.
You're talking about paying off. You were voted district MVP. What went through your mind when you found out that?
I was super excited. Glad I'm representing my name real good in this small community, and I just want to make my parents proud and the people proud, and that's one of the main things that drives me to do so well and play good.
And now, this year, better showing than in quite a few years, making the second round of the playoffs. Over the season, what's been your most memorable game and why?
Memorable game. That should be against Bruni here in La Villa. I felt like it was one of the best games I played. I was knocking heads right and left, and everybody was real excited. It was a real good game, close game, and yeah, good game.
Okay, also sitting here with Rey Felix, quarterback. Rey, you've had a tremendous 3-4 years here with the program. Gonna finish out your senior year. I want to take it back to last year. You started as the quarterback and moved over to running back. The coach has said that was mostly your doing. Tell me about that.
Last year, I knew Zach was a better quarterback than me, so I decided to move as running back to help out the team, and it helped me out a lot. I have a better vision, and I was able to see the field better. So that helped out this year when I would go quarterback. When when we would make mistakes offensively, I would be able to run the ball and find those open gaps that I couldn't see before. Our line helped out a lot. Our receivers helped out a lot also as well. They would always try to get open, and I would always try to look for them. So, and our line giving us that time, that gave us me and the receivers connection time. So that really helped out us. It helped us out a lot, and we just kept on moving the ball.
All right, now, like I mentioned before, and y'all made it to the second round of the playoffs. Of course, very, very close, heartbreaking game, but that week one of the playoffs, the by-district championship. First time you've been by-district champs in a long time. Tell me a little bit about what you were feeling right after the game.
After the game, we had a whole bunch of Everyone was happy. The coaches were happy. We all knew that it was possible if you just, after all the hard work we put in, we all knew it was possible. So we just kept on playing. Sometimes we messed up, but we never put our heads down and we kept on playing. And that's what really, everyone wanted us to win that first round and hopefully more, but we ended up losing second round by 4 points. But everyone was just excited that we had won that first round and it hasn't been done in a while.